Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, so we have the Five of Wands. You know, and I have never, I understand the attributes of the colors and everything for this card, but I will always look at this card and I'm like, oh my gosh. It is called the strife card, right? It is of strife. And what is strife? It is, well, problems, right? Hardship. And I look at this card and I'm like, man, you are very bright to be representing such a concept. But okay. It is a beautiful card. Now, don't get worried. Okay, I actually like the 5 cards because, oftentimes it is a reminder that there is going to be a light at the end of this little tunnel. We're in this little blip of a moment. And you know what? This too shall pass. All right? So let's go ahead. We're going to spin this thing, Taurus, and we're going to see what the tea leaves want to tell us. And I want to say thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading and check it out. It's always such a huge honor. Now we have, it looks like the letters JM right here, if that means anything to you. And we have the number 6 right in the middle up here. So a lucky number possibly, or a number of importance. Now we have another 6 here. We have 666, it looks like, and maybe a 6 here. So almost kind of in a circle, actually. This is the number of man, of humanity, right? And so I feel like when I see a formation like this, especially with the 6s, and it reminds me so much of a like a yantra, or maybe it's like I have to find the artwork, but it really, to me, speaks to your psychic balance, your emotional balance, your physical balance, and that fiery energy, right? The passion, the motivation, the creative force, the animating energy, okay? And I feel like for you, it's been all about getting everything back to where you are feeling like yourself. You are feeling bold and curious about life and excited, and like you have something to say and you want to be out there, you want to be seen, you want to be, taken seriously and loved and adored and all of these things. And so I feel like you have been doing some deep work, knowing that this isn't just like some superficial, fleeting situation in my life. It's knocked me a little bit off balance or whatever. No, this is about the core elements of my being. This is like when we start to get into that individuation process. And it really is like this concept. We live like the first, 25, 30 years of our lives learning about the world, taking in all this information and conditioning and, experience and so on. And then you get into this middle part of your life and hopefully you start to realize, like, I need to let go of some of the stuff that I picked up along the way because I need to make room to go forward and, begin those kind of novice or the uninitiated first kind of tremors of awakening, right? And then we are beginning to do that deep self-work, that individuation. We're starting to do our histories and our self-archaeology and learning about the strands of, you know, emotions and behaviors and ideas about the world and people and whatever. We start to go through these things, right? And we start to process and integrate and let go of a lot of stuff. And I think that's why by the last part of your life, not so many things are that important to you anymore. You know, there are some things that are very important and worth putting your energies into, and a lot of stuff that just kind of, you know, it's like a disillusion of, all the baggage you're carrying. And, you know, finally it's just kind of, I don't really need to, you know, hold the same beliefs that my father did, you know, or I don't need to remember what some girl told me in 6th grade about my body. I finally can let some of this stuff go, you know, and it's a process, and it's a long process. It's one that maybe never ends. I don't know if this is like a thing where you're like, I hit the I hit the, you know, the end of the what's the word? Marathon. I'm at the end of the marathon. We got it. That's a wrap. All done. I'm king of the mountain. I did the thing. I'm individuation goddess, right? No, I don't know. Who knows if it ever ends, right? We always have something to be working on. But I do feel like, yes, you are very, very mindful and self-evolving minded, okay? Now, as we turn this, I see we have a person in a boat, and it looks like they are catching a fish. Can you see that right there? The little fish that seems to be on the string. And so all of this is to be said, right? About this inner work and this kind of getting yourself it's like if your foundation on your house started to crack, you're gonna have to go in there and find out, well, first of all, what's going on, right? And then you gotta kind of reset the foundation. You might even have to pull out the whole dang thing and redo it. You know, hopefully not, but there is this feeling at different points in our life where we start to think like, I have built my kingdom upon ground that is unstable. And we see this a lot in our career, sometimes in our relationships, finances, you know, so many different aspects of our life, right? And so I feel like for you, during this period of time where you are kind of working out, how am I going to relay my foundation, or how am I going to kind of get this thing more level so everything starts to get back into balance. I start feeling how I want to feel, and ultimately put that into my efforts to make money, to work, my career. And I believe that ultimately a lot of it has to do with that. Trying to get your business going, your brand going, you know, keep it growing and making money and all these kinds of things. So I feel like, yes, sometimes the pursuit of success and probably resources maybe is the thing that really does fuel your desire to do some of the self-work. Now, it's not the core reason, of course not, but it is something that makes it easier on the top side, right? And what does that mean? In our daily lives, if we have some money to pay our bills, you know, to have a place that, you know, the lights are going to be on when you get home. So I think that's a big part of what's going on. And I think that honestly, if you ask most people in the spiritual sectors, is that a motivating factor for you? Most people will deny it, because there's this idea that if you are trying to make some money, you know, you're spiritually corrupt in some way. Maybe not like super overtly, but you know, why are you money minded, man? You know, that kind of thing. And you know what? I have had this prejudice myself at times. And I'll tell you what, being able to make some money doing the work that I actually want to do, that also like feeds into being able to raise my family the way I want to, being able to do the magical work I want to do, it's worth it. I mean, I'm not going to shake it any other way, right? So I do feel like you are realistic. You're a very down-to-earth, realistic person, okay? Do you have moments where you might be irrational? Yes, of course. You're a Taurus. I love you. Actually, today is my first husband's birthday. He passed away in 2014, and we were young. I was in my 20s still, and he was 36. He was a Taurus, and today's his birthday, and I'm remembering him. I'm trying to stay in like the best mood because we had so much fun. He was such a silly person, and he was a painter. We did graffiti together. That's how we got together. And I don't know. He was a great, great person. And I absolutely know that a lot of my ability to even like do readings and stuff has been because I made like a really deep choice to really carry him with me in my life, and that I was going to live the best I'm gonna cry, live the best life I could for him, for all of us, but and so anyways, Taurus, you're wonderful, you're beautiful. Sometimes, yes, we'll say overly passionate. Sometimes can be very passionate, maybe a little confrontational. But I feel like for you, it's just all about building. Now we have a person carrying a child. We also have a person over here who it looks like they are holding a large fish. And over here it looks like a warrior, somebody in a stance of maybe some kind of martial arts or something like this. Now, I really feel like whatever has been going on that has, it has. I think it's kind of like jolted you back into reality a little bit. And maybe it is. Maybe there's a grandkid on the way. Maybe you are having a kid yourself, and you're starting to think, I need to make more money. I got to get prepared, that kind of thing. I just feel like you are so locked in. You are in the mindset of the warrior. You are like razor sharp mentally. Now, the passion there, I feel like there's still some anxiety. You're maybe feeling like, I don't know if I'm making the right choice or if this is the right thing to do or whatever. I feel like the best thing for you is to be activating your your fiery parts of yourself, doing breath work, intentional movement, aka exercise, getting your heart rate up if that's okay for you to do, having a bonfire, being around fire, doing ritual that is around, the element of fire, getting into that creative space. So if like you're a painter, for instance, and you haven't painted in the last, few weeks or a month or whatever, a couple years, whatever it is, make sure you set up your space. Get the stuff out. Get it right there for you. Be ready for that moment. And then the slightest little, I feel like I should go paint. Don't stop and do anything else. Go and do the thing that you have been wanting to do. Okay. We also have, it looks like the letter J. We have the word Nile. N-I-L-E. Nile. We also have a person with a dog. And we have two dogs up here. And we have music. I kind of almost feel like you are going to come back together with some friends. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to start to really like, yeah, I'm back in it. You know what I mean? Like that activated feeling we were just talking about. I feel like that's exactly being around some people that start to like help you unlock 77 as our first lucky number. Kind of unlock those parts of your personality. Okay, 91, number 91, number 2. All right, here we go. I think that's it actually. I have to go. I gotta go pick up my daughter. Let's just do one inner child oracle card, and I'm just gonna flip through and which one? We'll do both of them. 2 of them tried to jump out. Okay, we have 36. Today's the day. It's time to begin the journey. And number 35, there is hope ahead. Have courage and take heart, for there is hope. Yeah, you got this. You got this, Taurus. All right, if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. I love you. We'll talk in a few days. Take care of yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you. Goodbye.